Okay. All right, I gotta get organized. So we will just wait for our class to fill up. Okay, I gotta get in where the chat is. Hi, Melissa. Where am I going? Hi, Cheryl. Oh, I'm gonna take everybody's names down here in one sec. I just gotta bring up the chat on here. Hey, Nicole. I know Thursdays have turned into my live day, I think. Okay, I'm gonna write down everybody that is popping in. Where's my pen? Not gonna lie, I'm really tired. I don't know what's going on. Oh, nice, Cheryl. Lots of fittings for prom dresses. Hi, Frankie. Okay, so we have so far Melissa, Cheryl, Nicole, Frankie, Rhonda, June. Are we all ready to finish this up? I don't believe it's already the last class. I'm trying to quickly, I didn't do homework. I'm trying to quickly, oh yes, I remember what I'm doing now. I hear Benny coming down. Yeah, it's been a crazy day. I've been working since 5 o'clock. I ran out of coffee yesterday, so I've been running on no caffeine. And my son was a sweetheart and just showed up with the Timmies for me. So I got a little bit of a boost. It went so fast, hey? So yeah, I'm hoping, as I'm looking through doing the purse ones, those ones may have a little bit of homework depending on what they are. Like once we get everything cut, like if we're getting close to the end of the 2 hours, may get everybody to go and like fuse their interfacing and everything in between classes. I don't know. We're gonna play it by ear because I know it'll be a little bit of a different thing in itself that way. Frankie mailed out 6 bags this afternoon. Wow. Cheryl, I do, and this eyebrow is going like this, and this eye twitches. I have a problem. But I'm ready for a nap. I also got up at 5. Like I've been working since 5. Yeah, my husband gets up at 3:30. I got up about 4:30. And then I had some breakfast and then I went right to work on getting that Kinsley tutorial up. So and then I did like the 2 lives and everything like that. Hi, Wanda. Taking down everybody's names as we go. Yeah. Well, let's all congratulate Rhonda on being the VIP of the month winner. She was one of the people that signed on for the $24.99 thing, that membership, for the chance to win a $25 gift card and become the VIP of the month. We did the draw today on the live. It was this really fun Wheel of Fortune type thing, and Rhonda was our winner. Yay! So she just has to let me know where I'm buying her gift certificate to. So yeah, no, it's awesome because on this, like, as us Canadians, it's sometimes hard for us to spend the money on shipping, say from the States, but, and same vice versa. If you're from the States and don't want to pay it from Canada, the gift card pretty much will pay for your shipping. So that's kind of cool. So yeah, Rhonda's our very first winner. Yay! Now she just has to go to all the online stores and decide which one I'm buying an e-certificate for her from. They have to have e-gift certificates that I can send to an email. So yeah. Awesome. Let's see how many we got in there. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Oh, okay. I'm missing somebody, but that would be me because I'm logged in on my computer too. So we will just wait and see. I honestly don't think this is going to be a full 2 hours unless we get chatty. So we will see what happens. So excited to see who you choose, Rhonda. I am. And I hope that you'll end up sharing what you do buy. Hi, Erica. Coco saying hi. Oh, and there's Dawn. Okay. Oh, there's Annie. Do you know what, Frankie? It doesn't matter how small they are. Shipping off 6, that's amazing. Congratulations. Okay, so we have about half of the class there. We'll give everybody else a little bit more time. Who's excited to do the Betty? Is everybody sticking around to do the Betty Bowler in April? That'll be next Thursday. I'm doing my practice bag probably over the weekend, so I'm excited to do that. Make sure the idea I have in my head works. Once I have it done, I will do a live and show the bag that we are going to be doing for April. So far for May, it looks like the Annette bag is winning. So that's again. Annie, do you know what? Larger bags are so much easier to do than smaller ones, believe it or not. Yeah. Oh, I'm hoping everybody sticks around. We have such a great group here. I'm super excited. Awesome. It's going to be great. Cheryl, is that's the only way you can get it done is if you're committed? Awesome. I'm holding you accountable. It's kind of like Weight Watchers, but for bag makers, right? So we don't have our works in progress all or our UFOs all hanging around everywhere. Okay, I'm going to just name out the names that I have so far. Please let me know if you're in here and I don't call your name. So I have Melissa, Cheryl, Nicole, Frankie, Rhonda, June, Wanda, Erica, Dawn, and Annie so far. Is there anybody missing on my list? And I'm also looking down here because my computer's here and the chat disappears so fast here. Oh, there's Rebecca. Hi, Rebecca. Welcome. Maddie's shaking his head. Weight Watchers for bag makers. I love it. We have such great understanding partners in our lives, don't we? Mine's not even home till 6 o'clock tonight, so that's why I chose Thursday nights are his Fridays at work. He works Monday to Thursday, 12-hour days. So he's off work at 4:30 and he usually gets home around 6:30. So this just ends up being a perfect way to end our week. And then tonight we'll watch a movie until he falls asleep, which will probably be about 7:30 because he gets up so early. Hey, Lise. Okay. Said I'm writing down everybody's name so I know who's here. Oh my goodness. Again, those that just pop in, Rhonda won the VIP very important person for March. So she has a $25 Canadian gift certificate to choose which website I'm buying for her. Congrats, Rhonda. Hi, Michelle. Michelle is our newest member. She just joined today. So I think she's going to watch our final class and then go and catch up on all the other ones and join us on the Betty bag. So everybody, welcome Michelle. Thank you so much for joining, Michelle. We're happy to have you. Think I might fall asleep before Dave tonight? I don't know. He can fall asleep standing up. What happens is I'll get overtired and then I won't be able to sleep. So, so we will see what happens. Okay, we're still missing some. We still need Jaded to pop in, so hopefully she pops in soon. Oh, there's Kim. Hi, Kim. Holy, I'm filling up my little sticky note. Oh, right. You're coming from down south, Lise the snowbird. Coming home. It's beautiful. Well, I'm not sure where home is for you, but BC is beautiful right now. Feels like spring outside. It's gorgeous out there. It was a little bit wet this morning, but that's okay. Aw, Kim. It's okay. We're still waiting for a few more to come in, so no worries. I hope that this will help make your day better if you had a bad day at work. Okay, so we're missing about 6 people, I think. So we'll just give them a few more minutes. Oh, Oliver, right. You're another BC girl. You're not too far from me at all. I believe Oliver's in the Okanagan, isn't it? I've been there. Yay. Okay, we'll just give everybody till about 10 after, and then we will get started. Everybody is all caught up. You got all your pieces done. Was there any questions or any problems anybody had over the last week? Cheryl says they had a quick snow shower in Illinois and expecting snow tomorrow. So over snow. Oh, gross. I'm done with snow. Yeah. Oh, there's Annie. Oh, I had Annie already. Annie's just glad her power is back up. It was off for about an hour ago due to trees that fell from the tornadoes yesterday. Oh my gosh, that's so scary. When I was living in Winnipeg for the short 3 years, yeah, we had a funnel cloud. It didn't hit the ground, but it was at the park behind my house. And I tell you, being a girl from the mountains, that kind of scared me a little bit. Oh, Lise, you bought a house in Oliver. Are you originally from Canada or are you moving from the States to Canada? Yeah, you and Nicole. Nicole's in Princeton. You were super close. Oh, dear Melissa, hopefully your storm's not too bad and you keep power at least till the end of class, right? Okay, so I'm going to name everybody that I have on the list here. Let me know if I've missed anybody if you're in there, okay? So I have Melissa, Cheryl, Nicole, Frankie, Rhonda, June, Wanda, Erica, Dawn, Annie, Rebecca, Lise, Michelle, and Kim. Am I missing anybody? Oh, Lise, you're come from Northern Ontario to BC. You'll love BC. I'm a BC girl through and through. Born and raised in Kamloops. Moved to Winnipeg from 2008 to 2011. Discovered what cold was and came home. Okay, so did I forget anybody? I don't think so. We are still missing some people, but I guess they'll join or catch it later. So I guess we can get started. I just came and did a mad rush clean of the table. It's still not. I've been working so hard, I swear. All right. Are we ready? Are we ready to get this done? I'm super excited. Okay, so what we are doing today, so this is my other necessary clutch wallet. Now you're going to see, remember this was the first wallet I ever made, and I made it with Aurifil cotton. So ignore my stitching, and I did this on my Elna, like my domestic sewing machine, but it still turned out okay. So what we're going to be doing today is connecting the card slots and the zipper pocket that we did. It's going to end up leaving us. You can see in this back, we have these seams here. You can see, look at all my skip stitches that I ended up going over and over again. Still, because I use vinyl on a domestic machine. And then this down here, this is the stitching that's going to sew up that slice that we cut in the middle of the lining. That's why we could turn it that way, was because we do sew it shut this way. All right. Okay. So you are going to need a little ruler. And some chalk. I actually might use my Soul Line pen. We will see. Let's get organized here. Okay, and I'm going to put you guys down. Okay? Let me know if you can see. Oh, my computer's kind of in the way there. Okay. have to let me know how that is. I'm kind of looking at, is that an okay angle there? It works out good for me because I can see the computer here, and I think you can see my pieces really good right here. Is this a good angle? Let me know, and if not, then I will change. Not that we're going to be sitting here very long. We're going to be moving to the machine here pretty quick. So I will go back and forth just because my lighting is a lot better in this part of the sewing area. And I can put it right down over top so you can see what we're doing. So I will be making you guys a little bit dizzy going back and forth, but I think it will work good in the long run. Okay, so let me just make sure I'm doing this right. Because I kind of sometimes just go off the top of my head, so I want to make sure I'm explaining this right for you guys. There's Coco. Okay, so what we want to do is take our card slots and we want to make them as center as possible. So what I do is I kind of judge where the flap is and the end of this is to kind of decide where my center is. And it should be somewhat level with these things here. Okay. And where's my ruler? So I'm just going to kind of measure so you can kind of see how what we're going to be doing is enclosing these edges by folding this over top of them. So we want to make sure they are in there somewhat and somewhat centered. I'm just going to measure from the flap, 1/4 of an inch. I'm not quite right. I'm going to move it over slightly. There's a little bit of space like up past the, up here, Melissa. Three-eighths. Okay, so mine is about 3/8 from each end. It's just going to be very important that we can, at the top and the bottom. Well, let's wait and see what happens here. That's bizarre because I thought that you were short, but I guess we'll find out. Okay, so I've measured up here, kind of keeping it in, and this one you can kind of see. If even Melissa, if you can kind of push it down a little bit, that'll be good. We just want to make sure that these raw edges are going to be enclosed. So what I'm going to do is take this flap here like this, and I'm going to fold it over. And I'm going to hold that with clips. See, mine just comes to the very end, so it's perfect. And then you're going to do the same on the other side. Yours doesn't reach the bottom. If it's a little bit short, Cheryl, that is okay. What is important is that these raw edges are going to be covered by these. So center it the best you can. If it's a little bit shorter, that's okay. Oh, Lisa's lost sound. Oh dear. So if yours doesn't reach all the way to the bottom, center it here. So if it comes down further from here, that is okay. And further from here, that is okay, even if it's shorter. I don't even, let's wait, see what mine was here. Like on mine here, you can see I was shorter and it worked out fine. So you want to be even or slightly shorter. And then Melissa, like mine's slightly longer here. I'm just kind of pulling this down just a little itty bitty bit like this. Even if there's a little bit of a lip, just kind of push it down and enclose that raw edge there. It'll be fine. Even if it's a little bit bubbly, it'll be absolutely fine. Just make sure that those raw edges are enclosed. Flying clips, that was happening to me during the tutorial that I just did. It was terrible. So yeah, you can see mine's a little bit long too. So it'll hang over a little bit, but it's not going to matter. It's going to be fine. But we just want to make sure that these corners here, those raw edges are enclosed like so. So everybody let me know when you're there. This is what it should look like so far. Mine should have come up a little bit more, but for some reason I went, it's okay. I'm just going to double check what we're sewing this together with. Yep. Alrighty. I need to dig in my garbage for a piece of vinyl because we are going to want our bobbin thread to be perfect in the next couple steps. So I'm looking for some scrap vinyl in my garbage can right now. Yes, I'm that person. I'm not finding any. I'll have to go cut a piece off. But that's okay. How's everybody making out? And then we'll just wait until Lise comes back because I know she's doing a quick reboot. While everybody does that, I am going to go cut myself a piece of this vinyl so I can do some tests on my sewing machine. I'll be right there. Melissa, how did you break out? Were you able to get those raw edges enclosed completely in those four corners? Out of the way, Benman. Perfect. I said mine isn't perfect. You can tell my outside got a little bit crooked here, but I'm not worried about it. Aw, Kim. Kim, are you joining us for the Betty next month? Yay, Lise. Okay, so what we did, Lise, was we just put our card slot as centered as we could, and we folded over the sides and clipped it, and you want to make sure there are no raw edges showing in the four corners. Now this one has a little teeny tiny bit of an overhang. If I don't catch that in the seam, I'm just going to put a little fray check on there just to make sure, but we'll be fine. Okay, so Melissa's done. Dawn is done. June is done. Rhonda is done. You must work in the medical profession, Kim. You sound like my son. Erica's done. Cheryl's done. Okay, well, I'm waiting for everybody to be done. I'm going to move over to the machine. Frankie's done because that will be our next step. You guys, I honestly don't think we're going to be here the full 2 hours. Like, we are so close to being done. It's not even funny. So, okay. Yes. So, I'm going to take you for a walk. Hi. Okay. And I'm going to double check what my seam allowance was. As you're looking at me reading stuff. Okay. Da-da-da. I sort of cleaned, but you can't tell anymore. Okay. Put you a little lower. Can I go lower? If I go further. Oh, goodness. There we go. Okay, and I'm just going to bring you up on here so I can see any of the chat that's happening. Sorry, you're seeing my hair. I didn't think about getting my other laptop logged in here, so I'm just doing that quickly. And it has sound, of course. All right, there we go. Okay. So while we're waiting for everybody, I'm going to quickly clean all this up. You want to double check that you have bobbin thread and stuff because you don't want to be running out of bobbin thread here. I am good. I have a full bobbin. Nicole, how's your 1541 treating you? Are you enjoying it? I'm just going to take this tape off because it's falling off. Oh, I was wondering, Frankie, you must be in Florida because I saw that Canada Post sends me an automatic thing when I get something. It won't be 3 weeks. I bet it'll be sooner. I'll let you know when it comes. I'm excited. Thank you so much for those pulls. I will definitely use them in my future tutorials, and I will thank you for them in them. Okay, so everybody, please I'm taking, because I'm using vinyl, I am just folding my vinyl almost like it was a strap. I want to make sure that my bobbin thread is going to look good because it's going to show on both sides. Now, I know on my Titan, my tension goes out with different layers all the time. You're going to want to use a long stitch length for this because we're going through quite thick things. So yeah, so I'm just going to test my, and I've lost my little snips. I just oiled my machine too, so I apologize for the grease. So I want to make sure that my tension is awesome on the top here and on the back. And I'm a little bit tight, so I'm going to loosen up. On my Titan, I am using between a 5 and a 6, kind of closer to the 6, but not quite to the 6. Melissa, you shouldn't have problems. I did it okay on my domestic, so once upon a time. And I was using cotton thread, and I know you don't use cotton thread, so you should be fine. I wish this wasn't so oily. It's hard to see on the black. And my stitches look okay now. Okay. Whew, now we get to breathe. This is almost like top stitching because you can see it. So we are going to go all the way down here and all the way down the other side with a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. Now, I'm going to try to start just at the top of where my vinyl starts curving right here. So that will enclose those top corners as well. And go with a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. Now you don't want to go too much more than that because we want to make sure our card slots are still going to fit in. This is where I was saying if you are out by 1/8 of an inch, it wasn't going to matter too much because we would be enclosing it here. Okay, so yeah, on my Titan, on my industrial machine, I am using a 5 to 6. I think if I was on my domestic, I'd use about a 4 to a 5, if I remember correctly, but it's been a while since I've done this on my domestic. But I think that's what I used to use for my top stitching. And yes, you're going to have to back stitch. The stitch length, 1/4, yeah, we're going a 1/4 of an inch, Melissa, and I'm using about a 5.5 stitch length on my industrial. Oh, so sorry for the oil, guys. I over-oiled. I tend to do that. Now, this is always the hard part because you'll know if you did your card slots right because your cards will fit. And if you didn't, then they won't. And it's a wash. I have had some be a wash before. But that's okay. And then you just kind of want to pull this away and make sure all of your raw edges were caught, and all mine were. If I can wipe the oil away, you can see that's what that stitch looks like there. Sorry for the oil. Oh no, Dawn, you just changed your needle and your thread is shredding. Do you know what? Sometimes that has happened to me on here, and it was because I didn't put my needle all the way up. Like I got it in part way and then I tightened the screw. Make sure your needle is all the way up, or rethread your bobbin and rethread your machine, and it should be okay. I think that has happened before to me, trust me. And that's what I do is I just go, I take my needle out and put it back in. I rethread the machine, and I thread my bobbin. So you can see there, that's my stitching looks really good. I am going to take, because I'm using a bonded thread, and I'm just going to melt my threads a little bit without melting my nylon, or not my nylon, my vinyl. Kind of gets rid of those fraying things. I am using a size 18 needle. On my domestic machine, I would have used a size, I believe I used a 90/14 when I did this. Okay, so now on this side, I'm starting from the bottom side because it's the easiest. And doing 1/4 inch, doing the same thing again. But on my industrial machine, I use a size 18 needle. Now, you may also, if you find you're having problems if you're on a domestic and you have a walking foot, sometimes that helps get through the layers as well. But definitely using a longer stitch length will help too. I don't even think I have a credit card in here. No. So oily. But do you know what? I think a well-oiled machine is better than running out of oil, especially with how much these cost. And I'm just double checking again. I got some runaway threads here. I'm just going to burn them off. Making sure all of my raw edges were caught. Okay, now while everybody does that, I'm going to move back to the table for the next step. Let me know if you have any questions. Hi. Oh, awesome, Wanda. So on Wanda's Juki TL 2000Q, she uses a size 60 needle with a 1/4 inch. I gotta go, so I went away on here. A 1/4 inch compensating foot. Said my poor Juki, she is so neglected. She just sits up on the shelf. I do use her when I try to do some quilting or what have you, and I'm planning on doing some more quilting soon, so... Okay, moment of truth. I'm going to check mine before. Hi, Benny. Haha. Good, I did it right. Okay, I'm going to put you guys down like this. So when you're all done that, that's when you want to go through and make sure that your credit cards actually fit. Mine do. Oh, did I miss something? I changed my needle and my thread is shredding. Oh, the little dip is supposed to go to the right, Dawn. It's on the right-hand side. If you have it on the left-hand side, it will shred your stuff. So maybe that's what has happened too. Do I have any other little flyaways? I hear Coco. Hi, Cocoa Beans. Hi, baby. Oh, perfect. That's an easy fix then, Dawn. Sorry if my table's moving. Coco is using the leg of the table to scratch herself. Does anybody want to say hi to Coco? There she is. Ignore my messy floor. Hi, Coco. No, you don't need to come up on my... Oh, she's going to come up. Okay. Okay, that's a good girl. That's a good girl. Okay, down you go. Perfect. I so wish there was an ID window so I could use this glitter vinyl that Anna from Galaxy Custom sent me. It's got little rainbow bits in it. I just love it. Does everybody love my duct tape I keep on my table here? Oh my goodness. How's everybody making out? Looks like June is done. Cheryl is done. Melissa's done. Now what I like to do just in case. Oh, Michelle's dogs are Frankie and Ivy. They looked when Coco was there. Oh, Michelle, maybe we can get Frankie and Ivy or Frank and Ivy going when Coco starts barking. Okay, so Frankie's done, Erica's done. What I also like to do, even though it's enclosed, I like to just take a little bit of fray check. And I just kind of put it in those corners just because I don't want it to accidentally or with use to start to fray there. You don't have to do this. I just think it helps. So I do it. I just put it right in the little corners there. Was it Dawn that you had fray stop? Maybe don't use the fray stop, use the fray check, because I heard fray stop leaves kind of a stain, but this stuff is really good. Fray check. And I just get this, it's Dritz fray check, and I just get it from Emmeline Bags. Oh, I got a little bit of a frog in my throat. My goodness. I'm just trying to see how big this is. Okay. All right, so now what we want to do is we want to find the middle of our coin purse. Now what we want to make sure before we do this is that on the inside, because we left that hole in the bottom, we want to make sure it is nice and flat like mine is, because we are going to end up sewing that shut when we attach it to this part of the wallet, but you don't want it to be all crinkled up. You want to make sure it's pressed all nicely like so. And then you want to find out where that center is. So you can either fold it up like this and make a press. I tend to take it to my board and measure it. And I see this is from the top of the zipper to there is 7. So I'm going to take my chalk and I am going to do a line at 3.5 from my zipper, if that makes sense, from the top of my zipper. And just draw a line with my chalk. And then if you feel, you can tell the pocket comes below that line a little bit. And then just double check that that is 3.5, 3.5. I'm good. Now yours may measure a little bit more or a little bit less depending on how much your fabric shrunk. You just want to make sure it's right in the middle. So once everybody's done that, let me know when you're there. We are so stinking close to being done. You have no idea. We probably could have finished this last week. Okay, Dawn's done. Frankie's done. There's so much more room here now that I don't have my ironing mat here. This is good. Melissa gave us a thumbs up, so I guess that means she's done. Rhonda's done. Cheryl's done. I'll give everybody another minute or so, and then we will move on to the next step. Wanda's done. Now, I like to use a little 1-inch ruler for the next part. It doesn't have to be 1 inch. I just find it easier. You could use a longer 1 inch, or you could really use any ruler. I just like to cheat with this. June, are you excited to finish because you're done with doing the wallet, or you're excited to finish to see the end project? End product. Okay, so what you want to do now is you want to measure up 1/2 inch from that center line and 1/2 inch down the other side. And that's when I like to use these little 1-inch rulers. So I just put my little 1/2 inch line on either side, and then I can just go ahead and draw on either side of that. Oh, do you know what? Make sure you're doing it with your zipper pull going to the left. My zipper was going to go the wrong way. If I did it this way, it would have went in my wallet and close to the right. My bad. So I'm going to remark this at 3.5. Glad I caught that now. Not that it would have really mattered, But yeah, do it in whichever direction you want your zipper pull to close. Number of times I've put my zipper going, closing right to left instead of left to right. Drives me crazy. Okay, so zipper pull on the left, your 1 inch mark down here. And let me know when you get there. So in this area here is where that opening in the bottom of the bag is done, or in the bottom of the, or in the center of the lining that we cut. And it's going to seal that up. So that's why I like to turn it the way that we did here. So close to being done. Definitely our June. Like, we're sewing this on and we're doing the gussets and then we're done. We may be done by like shortly after 5, I think. So, but then we can talk about the next project. So it'll be fun. How's everybody making out? Kim, you bought the Betty Bowler bag the other day? Awesome. Okay, Frankie's done. Okay, so for this next step, if you have double-sided tape, it's really helpful in this step. The lining in the zipper pouch, is that supposed to be sewn at the bottom, or is it supposed to? It's supposed to be open, Melissa. Just make sure it's laying nice and flat. When we sew this, like the end of my zipper pouch ends right there, and we are going to be sewing all the way around here. So it's going to close up that zipper pouch. Okay, so actually it's kind of good I drew a center line. On the opposite side of this, I am going to put some double-sided tape within there. This, if you're on a domestic machine, will not affect it because you're not going to be sewing through this double-sided tape. If you don't have double-sided tape, you can either hold this in place or use some clips. I'll see if I can show you how to do that. But double-sided tape definitely helps. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to center this. So we have our center seam here from our card slots, and that's what we're going to line up with the center line that we drew here. And you want it to be nice and centered on the inside as much as possible. Lining up with that line. And then kind of push it down. If you couldn't use double-sided tape, I would definitely take some clips and clip it like so to hold it in place, and then use the card slots up here to hold it in place with some clips like so. Double-sided tape just works a lot easier, but that's how I do it if I didn't have double-sided tape. So you can also kind of center this with your card slots. I'm pretty good there. Now it's okay if this is longer in some areas, that's fine. And everybody let me know when you're there. I am going to move us back over to the machine while I wait for everybody to get to this part. And this is the last sewing part. Okay, so I'll bring you back up. Hi. There's Coco. Hope I'm not making everybody dizzy. The only way I know how to do this. Oh, cool. My son just texted and he has put the pork loin in the oven. What a good boy. Okay. Okay. So again, you want to make sure your tension is good here because it is going to show on the bottom because we're going to be creating that seam along the bottom here. So what we're going to be doing is along these lines, we are going to be, and so I like to kind of start on one of the sides here Mimi and Leo say hi. Hi to your fur baby, Cheryl. We're going to sew down here with about 1/8 of an inch or so, all the way across here. Come to the other side over here. So up with 1/8 of an inch or so. It could be 1/4 of an inch if you're more comfortable with that. And back, and then back stitch here, if that makes sense. Okay. A zipper foot may make this easier. I don't have mine on and I'm too lazy to put it on, so I'm just going to go ahead and do this. Trying to keep my threads. So I'm just starting, just like you're top stitching along the zipper pouch. So I like to do it along the sides because it kind of hides a little bit for my back stitch. Still going to show on the bottom, but and when it comes to that line, make sure you have your needle down before you turn. And now this is the stitch that's going to close up that zipper pocket. And at the same time, that slit that we did should be right here in the middle, and this is closing all of that up. You want to be using a long stitch length with this as well, because you are going through quite a few layers. Again, needle down before you pivot that corner. I'm curious to see what Michelle thinks of all this, as she is a brand new member as of today. Do you like this style of teaching? This is how we will be doing it for next month's bag as well. So, okay, I'm just kind of holding it up a little bit here because I have my turn lock sitting here. And I'm just kind of protecting it with my finger and making sure it doesn't catch on anything on my machine, which could give me some ugly stitches. And then when you get back to the beginning, pivot and try to back stitch over that same place we did before. And then you pray, oh, they turned out good. Yay, that your stitches look good on the back. Dawn is done. She's so excited. I think you beat me. You beat me, Dawn. Michelle thinks it's great since we are able to trouble sewing with others. Exactly. And Michelle, I'm learning stuff too. So it's kind of like a class, but it's kind of like a sew along. Some in this group have made many of these like I have. So that's what my bottom looks like. And that's what it looks like on the inside. So now if you go inside your zipper pocket, you will see it's completely closed up. And if you go in through these backs, just double check that in this lining where we did that slit, that there it got caught and there are no openings. You can see we don't. We're good. All right, and I'm going to take us back to the machine. Hi, Benny. Hello. You've only made one other of these, Frankie? You see how dark it is in this room? I only have that one window and it's kind of dreary outside and it's so dark. This room's a little bit brighter, which doesn't make much sense to me because there are no windows in this room, but I have a lot of fluorescent lighting. So, okay. Let's put you back in your claw clip. Oops. There we go. Okay. So the next step is probably the hardest step, I guess. And it's more because it's a little bit awkward. Is there anybody that isn't using rivets to do their gussets here? Does everybody have rivets? Because I will explain to you what you're going to do if you're going to sew it, but I will tell you it is hard to sew, especially on a domestic. 3.5. Okay, I'm just double checking. So the next part we're doing, and as you can see on my first one, I secured these with rivets, and that is what we're doing today. Because it is so hard, in the pattern, it tells you to sew down here. And on this one, you can't really see it, but I tried to sew it and it was on my domestic and I couldn't get the stitches to stay. So then I just riveted it. And then from then I just did only riveting because it was a nightmare to sew on my domestic machine. There you go. Nicole is saying the same thing. Because what you would have to do is when you have these, you're kind of folding all of these out of the way and then you got to kind of go in and sew down here, and then it doesn't want to, and it's like super thick and it's just terrible. So we're not doing that. If you have a rivet press, even better, because it just makes everything easier. If not, you can definitely hand set these. So I'm going to put you down like this again. And this is what we have. So we have no raw edges. We have this part's all floppy. We have our zipper closing to the left. We have all of our card slots and they all work. We have our two things like this. Lise says, this pattern has always intimidated me. Now that we've been through it together, I really can't remember what intimidated me. Lise, this is one of my most favorite wallets to make. I make the mini one. I make this one. I have never ever done the large one, but I'm actually really tempted to do the large one as a tutorial. I don't have an NCW tutorial, but I'm thinking about doing the large one as one. We will see. I have such a long list of tutorials. It's not even funny. Okay, how's everybody making out? I'm just melting more of my threads here. Melissa's done. I'm wishing I brought a glass of water. Man, I'm parched. So close, guys. You can kind of see what it's going to look like, but we're not done yet. Yeah, we need to do one. Okay. So now what we want to do is we kind of want to lay this out flat like so. Okay. Now, from the edge here, like right where the gusset starts curving, we want to put that at 3.5 inches right there. And just make a mark 3.5 inches where that ends here. So right there is 3.5. Does that make sense? Same with on this side, half mark. Bring this around, and right there is 3.5. Oh, Frankie, yes, those three ladies are my lovely admins, Melissa, Rhonda, and Dawn. So when I do lives, they're the one that delete all of the inappropriate comments from the trolls out there that send links to porn and that kind of thing. I don't understand. So that's what those ladies do for me. They are amazing. When I'm in a live, especially when I'm on my phone, I don't have access to go and block the inappropriate people. Yeah. Okay, Cheryl, I am going to go grab my water. It's just in the other room. So it's the corner, from the corner to the top. Yeah, so 3.5 inches. I have my 3.5 inch mark there, and I'm just bringing it around and marking at the corner of my ruler here and making that mark. And I'll be right back. Didn't have too far to go. I had to put on some warm socks and then left my water in there. Much better. Please show again. Okay, I'll show on the other side here. Okay, so right here where it joins the card slots, we want to go from, I'm putting my 3.5 inch there. So this is 1, 2, 3.5, right at that corner. And then right where this is, we're just going to make a mark on the edge. So from there to there should measure 3.5 inches. So from there, this little 4-inch ruler really helps with doing this. You can do it with any ruler. So that's what we have. If this helps, I'm going to show you on the pattern piece. This is what we've done here. So from there to there is 3.5, and from there to there is 3.5. That's what we were just drawing. Does that make sense? And this is such an easy way to do gussets too. So you don't have to worry about the pulling and the sewing and the pulling and the sewing, if that makes sense. If you've done the classic zip around wallet, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, Cheryl's done. Dawn's done. Frankie's done. Oh, Annie, you're running after a toddler. I just have man-children at home, so I'm good. My fur babies are even self-sufficient, so Rhonda's done. Okay, so now what we want to do is from that little line that we made to right along here where our stitching is. So we have our rectangle we stitched here. So I'm just going to line my ruler up with the bottom, that line of stitching right there, and that mark. And I'm going to draw a diagonal line like so. And same with on the other side. So matching up the bottom corner of that rectangle that we did. Just like that. So just lining it up with the bottom of this and this, just to give us guidelines of where we're going to put our gussets. Oh my, Annie, I remember those days. I used to bribe my kids with mini chocolate bars and Hot Wheels. It worked. They potty trained at like 16 months, so I was pretty happy. Okay, and then you're going to do the same on the other side. And these are just guidelines on where we're going to be placing our gusset. Oops, do you know what? I did this one a little too deep. Okay, so it looks like yours is in the middle of those two lines. My rectangle thing is way closer to the bottom, so my rectangle isn't in the middle of my side pockets. Your rectangle should be right in the middle here, because we marked our center line and you would have went all the way around, 1 inch around it type thing. But we can still probably make it work, Melissa, if it's off a little bit. It's a pretty forgiving pattern. These lines we drew now don't look like yours. So looking at this picture again here, you can see there's the bottom of the rectangle there. And that's where we drew from that 3.5 mark down to that corner of that rectangle. And same with on this side. And I know this shows a little bit better than on my black fabric. Does that make sense? Like that? And then you can see that is what I've done here. It's okay, Melissa, you can still probably make it work. Make sure you don't have a hole in your pocket, and make sure there's no holes in behind these card slots, because we want to make sure those holes got closed up. Okay, and everybody let me know when you're there. Dawn's done. Melissa's ready. I'm just going gonna clean out my hole punch while I'm here. I still need to buy a new one of these. I am headed to Vancouver end of the month, and I'm hoping to go to Tandy Leather and Lonsdale Leather, and I'm gonna buy some new punches, I think. Because this one is worn out. Cheryl's done, Erica's done. Okay, now we take deep breaths. We have our rivets out. We have our hole punch out. First thing I like to do is to start with these back ones. So I'm going to start with this side. I'm going to fold this pocket up like this, and that chalk line that I drew here, I am going to pinch it like so around that pocket. See what I did there? So there's my line. Here's the end of my pocket here, my zipper pocket. I'm lining that up, and then I'm pinching in between like so. Okay, Rhonda, we'll see you later. Did everybody see what I did there? I'll show one more time. So there's the line I drew. Here's my pocket. I'm pulling it up, and I'm matching my pocket up with that line I drew like so, and then I'm pinching it. Now this is where you're going to do it kind of to feel. You cannot ruin anything, okay? I like to put, you're going to punch a hole, and I'm going to say, I'm going to do mine. I'm just going to measure. How far in is that? Approximately 5/8 of an inch-ish, okay? I never measure this. I just eyeball it. I make sure my zipper and everything is nice and even with this. But what's important is you're going to punch through the coin purse and both sides of the gusset like so. You just want to make sure you're catching everything. You're going to punch through. And this may be wish. I got all the way through, I think. And then you're going to take your rivet. I'm just using medium rivets. And I'm pushing it all the way through those holes. Medium rivets work fine for what I'm using, and I'm using a rather thick marine vinyl. Melissa, you're going to kind of eyeball it yourself. I said I won't go in about approximately 5/8 of an inch. You're going to place your rivet back on. Longer rivets may be a little bit easier here, but the medium ones will work. Maybe. A lot of layers to go through. At the same time, you don't want your rivets to be too long either. Okay. Once you get that back to kind of stay on, you're kind of pulling it away like this. So this is what we got. Okay. And then I'm going to take my rivet press so you can see about how far in it went. I'm through everything. And it's a little bit awkward here, but it's worth it, trust me. Kind of squish everything out of the way. And get that in your rivet press, or do your hand press, whichever way you're doing it, if you're doing it by hand. And set that rivet. And that is one done. Double check that everything is caught. And that first rivet is going to kind of give you an idea where you're going to place all of your other rivets. So everybody let me know when you're there. Now, if you're sewing this, that's where you would have pushed this aside and you would have sewn about 1/2 of an inch down this way. And it's really hard to do that, but if you wanted to, you could go ahead and do that right down there. But it's super thick. It's a lot easier just to rivet it. Everybody let me know where you're there. Did that make sense? Are there any questions about that? Again, that's what it looks like. Kind of give it a tug to make sure it's set good, because you definitely don't want that coming apart. Again, and I just use medium-sized rivets from Emmeline bags. They are 9mm by 8mm. Brady has just gone back to work. He got called in for a double shift, and now Coco's not happy. Cheryl's done. Dawn's done. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and do the exact same thing with the other side of this, the other side of the zipper pocket. So go ahead and do that.
And you can kind of see where you're going to pinch. You want it to be kind of even, so you're going to kind of feel where it's going to be. So I'm kind of like, if I pinched here, it's going to be lopsided. So I'm just kind of moving my fingers in so I know where it's going to look good, so the zipper is nice and straight with the other side. So I want to go right about there. So yes, use your own judgment and what you think you like for tension, and then go ahead and make your punch. I'm going to say right about there. And once you do the punch, you're committed. Make sure it's going through all layers. And trust me, it's so much easier to do it this way than with the sewing. And then go ahead and set your rivet. Gonna push everything out of the way. And that's part of it done. Almost there, we're almost there. Can you see it coming together? So these should be folded in about the same amount. And let me know when you're done that. So I know I did it okay because my zipper is nice and straight. It's not wobbly here. If it was wobbly in here, then you knew you didn't do this tight enough. But again, it's not the end of the world if you don't. Easy peasy. Perfect. Again, this isn't part of the pattern. This is just something that I do that makes it a lot easier. Okay, so now the next ones are a little more awkward because we've already got two in place here. So we're going to take this other side here and we're going to line it up with that line there that we drew and do the exact same thing. Now, what you want to do is kind of picture how this is going to fold. So when I do this one, I sometimes like to take clips just to kind of see. And I match up this side here. I take clips to kind of see. Come on. You can eyeball it a little bit here because you want to make sure it's going to fold up nicely like this. So I'm kind of just making sure. And then it gives me an idea where I am going to do my punch. Almost want it even with the other one. Again, you're kind of eyeballing this. So this is a little bit awkward, but trust me, it's not as awkward as the other way. Again, sorry about Coco. One side first and then go ahead and do your other side. This one's a little easier to punch through because you don't have all of the layers of that pocket there to go through. Oh no, Melissa, you must have drawn your lines in the middle wrong when you sewn. Goodness me. Unfortunately, there's no way of fixing it. I'm sorry. Okay, so that side's done. I'm going to go ahead and do this side. And this is where you're going to kind of pull it because you want this to kind of come straight. See how I'm getting this side to come straight like this? So it kind of gives you an idea where you want to punch this side. So again, this is all kind of by feel and trial and error and figuring out where you want to punch it to make your gusset tight. Okay, I think I got it. This was the part I was most nervous about showing you guys because it is so different than the pattern, but truly, truly, this is the only way I do it because the other way made me cry. I think this is the intimidating part of this wallet, and this just makes it not intimidating. Now, I did with this wallet, I didn't have a rivet press. I set these by hand with a hammer and stuff, and they still worked well. And my wallet, I mean, this is almost 4 years old, and it still looks awesome. I think, anyways. Okay, kind of squish it out of the way. This one is the most awkward to press. Push everything out of the way and into the press. Just want to make sure your rivet is straight so you don't get a dimpled rivet. Okay. Now it may look a little bit wobbly and stuff like this because we are done. But do you know what? When you do it up, it's going to look great. And what you're going to do, sometimes I take butterfly clips, like the big binder clips, and I will put them on either side. And that's going to set those rivet seams nice and tight so they aren't wobbly. Actually, it kind of did it there already. See? That's it. We are done, you guys. Yeah, that's it. And look how perfect. See, all the seams turned out great. See, nothing to be intimidated about these. Again, you can sew them. I did not succeed with that. It was terrible. Another thing you could do with this wallet is right here. You could always do a second zipper pocket, just like we did this one, on this end, so you could have double zippers. I've never done that before. I know Rhonda has, and I've seen many people do that. But yeah, sometimes if you want 2 zipper pockets, that might be something that your customers really like. And it's super easy to do it on the other end as well. You just do this end and this end the exact same way. And yeah, we're done. What do you guys think? Look at that. And it's only 10 after 5. So yeah, you just kind of want to set it in place. Again, binder clips, putting it all in place, but everything should fit nice and even. That's the back. That's the bottom. You just kind of squish it all into place. Awesome, hey? Isn't that fun? Look at that. Look what we made. What do you guys think? Is that a good method of doing it? I mean, truly. Ta-da! Yay, we did it! Now these wallets, if you're in Canada, I successfully sell these wallets at $60 a piece. That's what I sell them for. And the mini size I sell for $50. Yes, Melissa, don't trust me. Learn from my trial and error. It is not fun to sew that gusset. But look, you get like a perfect, when you use the thing, like look how perfect that is. Your sister will love it, Wanda. Aw, Cynthia, yes, feel better for sure. Now, what I would like for everybody to do over the next week, if you can please, please, please either email me or Facebook me or put it on the Facebook group page, your finished wallet. I want to make a collage of them all and share them with everybody. Again, I don't have a tutorial for these ones yet. Usually if I was making a tutorial such as like the Betty Bowler bag, I am going to be making that tutorial this weekend. So I have a, oh, hi Jaded, you did end up joining us. I didn't see you pop in there. So I have like a sample to show you like I did with this one, what we're working on. And then that tutorial I will release just to the members as soon as the class is over. So the day we finish the class, no, I won't the day we finish the class. After we finish the class, say with the Betty Bowler, once everybody has done their bags, I want everybody to send me pictures of their bags. And then I am going to include those pictures at the end of the tutorial. So everybody's bags will get a featured spot that was in that class in my tutorial at the very, very end. You can even be in the picture if you want to be like, I will post that in the tutorial at the very end. You know how at the very end of my tutorials, I always have
kind of a picture slideshow of different angles of the bag. I want to have picture slideshow of everybody in the class's bag. So you could be in the picture with it. It could just be your bag, completely up to you, but that's my goal. So then once that is all done and I get that uploaded for 1 month after the class, that tutorial will be available to you guys for the month. You get exclusivity to see it, and then a month later I release the tutorial to the public. So, but they do not ever get to see the classes. That is only for members. So I think that is a great idea. What do you guys think? Do you mind sharing pictures of your bags for my tutorials? I would love it if you would. Make me so happy. Yes. You have to have it done by the weekend? That's no problem, Kim. Even if it's within a week or so, when I have everybody's, I will create some pictures. I'm going to click a collage, and I may even do a small little video showing everybody's off. So I will have your names written on it as well. So I'll just be your first names. And so everybody, I just wanted to build excitement so we get more people joining our class, because this has just been such a wonderful little group, and I'm just so happy. I will get mine caught up this weekend and post it on Facebook. Thank you, Annie. So yeah, post it on the Facebook page. I assume all of you are part of the Facebook page already, or send it to me via Facebook Messenger. So yeah, definitely send them to me so I can make a little collage of our class homework. Yay, everybody has graduated from necessary clutch wallet school. Congratulations, throw your hats in the air. That's perfectly. So if everybody, even if by next Friday I have them, that would be amazing. And then, yeah, that'd be awesome. This one turned out so good. I can't wait to see all yours. Is anybody struggling with those gussets, or is everybody good? Said the more you have it closed, look, it's already not flopping. So just having it closed makes it go really good. But do you see why this is one of my most favorite wallets? It's just, it truly is amazing. And anybody that's been intimidated by this shouldn't be. Do you see, it's pretty easy. Yay. And we finished early. Okay, so for next week's class, the Betty Bowler bag, you won't need it right away. But we are going to be doing a binding finish. So one item you are going to have to add into your supply list for that is binding. Whether you're making your own binding or whether you're using the bias tape binding. I'm using the bias tape binding like I always do. So yeah, so that's one thing you're going to have to add into that supply list. When I get the sample bag done, I'm going to be doing a public live talking about this class that we did, and also talking about that bag that we're going to do, and announcing what our May bag will be, which I'm pretty sure is going to be the Annette Swoon, because there's only a couple hours left, and that one's already winning. So I'm super excited about that, the Annette Swoon. I haven't made one in about 3 years, but it was a really fun sew, so I'm really, really happy to be able to teach that one. But I will be explaining what it is and any extra supplies you may need. And by then I will know if my modification to make it a binding finish worked. Do not be scared of the binding. It is a large bag. Large bags are the best way to learn how to do binding. They're easy to turn. There's no tight corners. Trust me, you will have it. You will love it. Great way to learn binding. So yeah. And look, we finished 45 minutes early, but that is okay. The length of the binding, yes, I'll let you know how many packets I go through. I think it'll probably still just be the one, but I know it is a really large bag, but I won't actually know until I make one. So yeah, that's what I think. I'm starting that on Sunday, and I'm also doing a tutorial with it at the same time, or filming the tutorial, so it's all ready to finish later. So yeah, I'm really glad that you guys enjoyed this class. I know it finished 45 minutes early, but you know what? That's because it is a wallet. That actually makes me feel a lot better, because now I think we will definitely have time to do a full purse in the 2 hours a week that I have allotted. Now with the purse tutorials, like say when we are doing the cutting and interfacing one, if we don't get to where we're actually adhering the interfacing, I may send you guys home with homework with that. How do you send pics, Becky? If you can send them to me on Facebook if you have it, or you can email me at info@beansbagsandhandicraftsco.com. I know that's a big thing. I will put that down in the description where you can email it to me. Binding. Let me find my binding packages. So this is the binding I like to use. It's the extra wide 1/2 inch. I just use the store-bought. You can make your own. It's completely up to you. This has 3 yards in it. And usually it's just 1 pack. I did that Big John duffel bag and I only used 1 pack. So, but I will let you know once I get through it because I don't really know until I do. So, yay! You will all be famous, June. I want to show off your beautiful bags. I want people to know that this isn't a scary thing to do. Single fold binding? No, double fold. Double fold bias tape. I always think about double fold bias tape just like being how we make our handles. So you can use waterproof canvas if you like to. You can do whatever your preferred binding method is. This is my preferred binding method. This is the way I'm successful most of the time. I suck at the waterproof canvas binding. I just can't do it. It's not for me, but I know it's easier for a lot of people. It's different for everybody. But in the class, I'll be showing you how to do this. But when it gets to going to do the binding, if you want to do it your way, or if you have a special foot on your machine that does it or whatever, definitely do it your way. That's fine. And again, piping is optional. I am not sure. I think Riley's home. I'm not sure how much of the vinyl or the binding I'm going to do on the outside of the bag, just because we do have the binding as well, and it's a really thick seam, so I may just do some piping accents. So yeah, we will all know once I do my practice bag and I figure out what we are going to do and make sure that it will definitely be good. Somebody is definitely home. That's one of my family members is home, Bark. But yeah, so, and if for some reason I am not successful doing it as a binding finish, then we will be modifying it to a birthing finish, because I know that that will be successful. I just think binding finish will be a lot faster and give it amazing, amazing shape is what my vision is. So hopefully that'll go. Anyways, are we all done? Did everybody get done? Is everybody excited? I'm excited. My house got noisy. All right. Well, congratulations, everybody, on graduating from Necessary Clutch Wallet School. This was amazing. I think we had a lot of fun, and I hope many of you will stick around for April's class next month. That'll be starting Thursday, and we'll starting the cutting and hopefully the majority of the interfacing of the Betty Fuller bag. All right, so once we're all done here, I will change this from unlisted to members only, so you can go back and watch at any time. Yay, and Annie, big bags are so much easier than small bags. Trust me, trust me. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you guys later. Don't forget to send me those pictures. Bye.